Hello there, Ray here. And in the last snapshot, they came out with changes to the villager trade. Today we will be looking at what exactly they did change with the villagers, and also be going over the changes that they made to the new snapshot, which is 12b. We did our snapshot stream last night and it was amazing. Thanks everyone who came out. It was a lot of fun. We discovered a lot of crazy things. And if you're someone that would like to join our snapshot streams, we do have a snapshot server that you can come on and join to do testing on. And this Friday we will have another stream where we will do further testing on the things that we discovered. And we're hoping to take some of those ideas that we came up with and turn them into full-fledged farms. And you can find more information about that down in the description. During the snapshot stream, we went ahead and checked out what was different with the villagers. The first thing that we noticed is that they can do more trades before lock. So beforehand, you can only do 4 trades with them before they would lock up in most trades. And then in some special trades, they do like 1 or 2 trades and then they would lock up. So let's go ahead and count this. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally it would lock up there. Let's go ahead and continue it. 5, 6, 7, 8. You see we got 8 trades on that. Now there is this visual glitch over here where the XP bar seems to continue off the page and go over here. But the more important thing is that we got 8 trades, so we got double the trades out of this one here. So let's trade with the journeyman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you see that time it only took 6. So on more of the common trades, it'll allow you to do 8 trades before it locks up. And then on kind of the medium trades, you will be able to do 6 trades before it locks up. The villager will unlock twice a day, like it says when you hover your mouse over top of the X. And then you can do more trades with him. So this is a master trade. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it comes to like tools, normally it would take 1 trade and they lock up. You can see we got 1 trade, 2 trades. So that essentially doubled as well. And that's pretty consistent with all the villagers when it comes to these type of trades. So the leather worker does sell items very similar to that, like we've seen with the diamond, where it's a single item that doesn't stack. Let's go ahead and count how many we can get of these. This is a novice, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that locked up at 6. So that's kind of seen as a medium trade. So the leather worker at the master level also sells leather caps, and for some reason they're still not enchanted. I think that is still a bug. But what I'm doing is when I'm trading them, I'm just using the Q button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that seems to be consistent no matter if it's at the master level or the novice level. So it seems more of the simpler trades, you can do 8 of them before lockup. Then like the medium trades, you can do about 6. And then kind of the high-end trades, you can only do 2 trades before they lock up. Now something that I suggested that I think that they should add to the villager trades is that if you have a guy that is a master, he is able to do more trades than a guy that is a novice. So let's say you're going ahead and you're doing this trade here. Typically you would probably do 8 trades and this guy would lock up. But if he was a master, you could do the same trade but maybe do twice as many. And I think that would really encourage people to go for like the master level rather than just get several of the guys at the novice level. Now they did also add in some new trades to the villagers. So let's go ahead and check out those trades. We went ahead already during the stream and looked at all the different villagers and seen what they offered. So I'm just going to be pointing out the ones that they changed. So the first one that they changed is that the mason at the expert level can also sell, besides just normal terracotta, they can sell glazed terracotta. And they sell this at the same price as the normal terracotta. The mason at the master level also got a new trade. So last time it was just the pillar quartz block, and now they also will sell you quartz blocks. This is pretty cool because now you have more variations of different types of quartz you can get. And a lot of people do use it for building. So this is a more of a renewable way to get quartz rather than going out and having to constantly mine. Now one of the trades that they have in the Bedrock Edition that they do not have in the Java Edition is the guy that sells steak. And I thought that was a bug, but it seems that they have not included him after making these changes. So you can see that he will buy like the raw mutton and the raw beef, but he's never going to sell you any cooked variations of those. Now they can sell you some cooked pork chop, which is just as good as steak. We were able to find a cartographer selling item frames this time, something we couldn't find last time. And you guys pointed out to me that they did not show the maps for the woodland mansions or the ocean monuments because I was doing it in Super Flat World. So here's one of the guys. He's a journeyman and he's a cartographer, and you can see his second trade is a type of map. This just happens to be a woodland. We were also able to find a librarian that actually sold the clocks. So this guy here does it in his second trade and he's an expert. Now something kind of cool when you're trading, if you hit the Q button, it will drop all these items all at once. So you don't even have to hit like Control Q to drop a stack. Because when you're buying it, obviously you can't just buy one cookie. You have to buy whole stack for this amount. So if I hit Q, it's going to drop all 18 of them. And that just allows you to be able to trade without having to hold down more buttons. They did say that they fixed a bug to do with suspicious stews, being that the farmers would sell you a variation of them that would only give you a potion effect for a very short period of time. So I'm just going to go ahead and purchase a couple different stews and then test them out. I really think they should have it so that you can shift click these emeralds into these slots. That way you don't have to do so much dragging and dropping. So I purchased quite a few of them. Let's go ahead and test them out. Okay, so that gave me weakness for about 6 seconds. And it's supposed to be 8 seconds. That's pretty close. Saturation for about 8 seconds. That seems about right. Speed for about 7 seconds. Jump boost for about 7 seconds. Another speed for about 7 seconds. All of them seem to be about 7 seconds. Saturation. Another jump boost. Another saturation. Another jump boost. Speed. Blindness. That was only for about 5 seconds. So they do seem to be about the same duration as the ones you would get in survival through the crafting of the suspicious stews. Now another thing I want to test is the Fletcher here at the master level. He will sell you some tipped arrows with the different types of potion effects on them. Potion effects should correlate to the same ones that you see like in the creative menu. Different types of potions are going to have different lengths. So something that is really powerful, like Turtle Master, you can see this one's only for 2 seconds, but like some other less ones are much longer, like Night Vision is for like a whole minute. So let's see if there's any interesting ones that these guys sell that might be extremely useful to get in survival. As producing tipped arrows can be pretty annoying to gather all the materials and even getting the very precise materials needed for some of these arrows. Now this guy here sells Slowness 5, which is actually in the game. So they introduced Slowness 5 when they introduced Turtle Master. So normally you can only get like Slowness 1 and 2, but they actually changed this because if you see Turtle Master has some really high slowness. So we got this one, and this one here, which is slowness of 6. So what they did is they changed the normal slowness so that you can get just a normal level 1, and then you can also change it all the way to level 4, which is a pretty big difference. Now these guys also sell regeneration arrows, but they only last 11 seconds and they're only level 1. If they did sell you regeneration 2, it would only be for 2 seconds. But you have to remember when you do hit yourself with these arrows or anything else, it's going to do a little bit of damage from the initial arrow. Now this guy here sells Strength 2. A nice advantage of that is you don't have to have tons of potions which don't stack your inventory. You can just carry a bunch of these arrows of strength, and then you can always hit yourself to give you a little bit of extra strength. But you still have to be pretty talented at juggling these arrows in your inventory, as the arrow that's going to be shot out of your bow is going to be the one that is the closest on your hotbar here. So if you have a setup like this, where the arrow over here is a normal arrow, you're going to shoot off a normal arrow. If you happen to have this arrow over here and this arrow ahead of it, then it's going to shoot off a strength arrow. And that goes same for like this inventory. If this arrow is in the top and you got the other arrows in the bottom, it's going to shoot off a strength arrow. Now the slow falling arrow is kind of cool because you can fly with your Elytra and you can shoot yourself with one of these and then you'll even glide farther. But there is currently a bug in the snapshot when it comes to trading, and I'll just show you guys it. So if you go ahead and put your emeralds in here and your arrows in here, and I'm in survival, and if I shift click, pay attention to my emeralds, you see that I didn't use any emeralds up, I didn't use any arrows up, and I got some free Sonorous arrows out of this guy. I can even shift click these back into my inventory. Notice that my emerald count did not change at all. And you just get some free arrows, so I guess it's like a free sample. But what it does is it will immediately lock the villager's trade only after one trade. Now this is most likely a bug. Otherwise, the only way you'd have to trade these villagers is by coming in and purchasing the arrows by dropping them like I was showing you earlier, or just constantly clicking until they lock up. But it is kind of funny to feel like you get a free trade out of the villagers. And here's one of the guys that will sell you a slowness 4 arrow, but like I said, it's only 2 seconds, so it's not very useful. Now you could spam people with these arrows, so they can never really get close to you or some type of mob, but you would go through them very quickly, and even with having infinity on your bow, you will use up these type of arrows. Well, there we have it guys. You can get luck arrows from these guys. I was kind of suspecting that you could possibly get arrow types that you normally can't get in survival, so it is now possible to get the luck effect in survival. This is a pretty big deal as the luck effect is actually used in survival. It determines what type of loot you get out of like chest, and I think also for like fishing. So pretty much anytime you open up a container in the game that is randomly generated, it'll look at your luck to see what type of items should go into that. So before you open up like a chest in a dungeon or anything, hit yourself with one of these arrows, get a little bit higher luck, and maybe you'll just get that notch apple. It's really cool that they would give this to the master as it gives people a really good reason to go ahead and increase their Fletcher all the way up to the master level so that they have a chance of getting these type of arrows. And these are the type of things that I wish they would add more into the game. These sort of hard to obtain things that are really end game, but for those of us that have been playing the game for a long time, we can go out and try to acquire, but doesn't really necessarily hold back beginner players. Now the luck effect has been in the vanilla game for a long time, it just hasn't been obtainable in survival. So the masters seem to sell you every single type of arrow that you can find in like the creative menu. So just before we seen a guy that sold it for 22 seconds. So this version of the fire resistance is extended, so this is 1 minute. So it's 1 minute of duration, it's more likely for you to use this in survival. And it'll give you enough time to do a couple different tasks before catching on fire. And these guys will also sell you like the damage arrows or like the healing arrows. And the damage arrows are pretty useful because you're actually doing more damage than your normal arrow. But like a healing arrow, you're going to take some damage, but it's also going to try to heal you some. So it looks like these guys sell you pretty much every arrow that we can find here in the creative menu. So you can get like a healing too. Down here is where the luck is. There is only one type of luck and it'll give you a +1 in luck. So having a fishing rod with the luck of the sea actually increases the player's luck as well. So if you had like a luck arrow on top of that, you could even get better loot when fishing. I'm really excited to find this, and if you guys know what exactly this all affects, please tell me down in the comments. Now they did come out with a 19W12B snapshot, and in this one they went ahead and they fixed a bunch of bugs, and they also tweaked the way the iron golems will spawn. So now the spawning chance is slightly increased. This is quite a bit different than the previous snapshot where they decreased it quite a bit. And they also said that now it only requires 5 villagers to gossip instead of 10. So you don't need as many villagers to get an iron golem farm going. They also said that when the villagers are hurt recently by a zombie, there's a higher chance that they will spawn in an iron golem. And this is a good thing because if your villagers are getting attacked, then all of a sudden they definitely need an iron golem to come in and protect them. They also said that they are looking for feedback regarding the iron golem spawns. So if you guys have any cool ideas on how you think the villagers should summon in an iron golem, then tell us down in the comments. I think the villagers should also summon in iron golems when like a raid is coming in. So maybe when a raid comes in, maybe they can hurry summon in an iron golem so it can help during the raid. Look at this block here. This is complete hacks. As you can see, there's a solid block above a path block, and normally that would create a dirt block instantly. So let's see if we update this. Okay, it does not actually update it. Huh. Well, that's kind of cool. So if I go ahead and break this block and place again, you see it converts it over into dirt now. So some of the bugs that they fixed in this snapshot include the entity staying in the global list even when the chunks are unloaded, and this is a pretty bad one. This was causing entities to be still being tracked by the world even when the chunks were unloaded. They also fixed the bug that I showed during the stream where when if you're inside a boat and you're trying to move around, it was extremely jittery. They also fixed a bug to do with players spectating. It was causing a bunch of jittering as well, and that has been apparent in a couple different snapshots in the past, like the 1.13 snapshots. They fixed a bug that villagers were actually looking at the player when they were in the spectator mode. Then they fixed a bug to do with conduit causing the game to crash. They also fixed it so that signs can be dyed again, so it makes it easier to read the words. And the last bug that they fixed is a really major one, and that is mobs were suffocating inside of glass. As you can see, when we spawn in a villager, he's no longer suffocating inside glass. So hopefully this will also fix a lot of other bugs that were around the same issue as this, such as like glass was putting off shadows, and other types of blocks similar to glass was causing suffocation as well. So let's try a couple other blocks. You see the piston open, doesn't cause any suffocation, but when it's closed, it will. Slabs also don't suffocate the villagers. Glowstone does suffocate them, and ice suffocates them. Farmland does not. Path blocks don't either. Soul Sand doesn't suffocate them either. And it still seems that Soul Sand kind of has this strange collision box where you can kind of stand on different levels of it, which is actually pretty useful, but I'm not sure if that's intended. But it does cause this problem here. As you can see, we can't put any power into a Soul Sand block, so this piston's not getting powered. And you can't place like any redstone on top of it or any levers on top of it either. And you can't place like rails on top of it, so I'm pretty sure that's a bug. Observers do suffocate them. Beacons also suffocate them. Chorus flowers do not suffocate them. And end frames do not either. If there's any other blocks you think I should test, tell me down in the comments. I'm really glad that they fixed the glass problem because a lot of people use glass to encase their mobs, and I've heard people saying that they had like some display cases of different mobs inside of glass, and when they would update their world, obviously they would all suffocate. And it's good to have at least one type of block that players can use to not worry about suffocating their mobs. Back in the day, glowstone used to also be underneath the same category as glass, but they later did change, I think, around in 1.9. So with the changes to the villagers, you can see that now you can make a village by having 5 villagers as well as 5 beds, 5 workstations, and also a meeting point instead of having to use 10. So you can make these areas a lot smaller to make a village. And during our streams, we've been doing a bunch of testing to do with iron farms, and I made a couple different designs. And right now, some of the ProtoTech members are testing different theories on how to make more efficient iron farms, and I've been helping them do some testing. So hopefully we'll come out with some simple designs pretty soon. It looks like we're already having some pretty good results. Now there is this pretty annoying bug in the snapshot to do with being a creative and crouching, as crouching is used to make the player go up and down, so shift and space. When you do use crouch, notice that sometimes my guy kind of double bounces, so I'm just going to stand in front of this, and when I go downwards, you kind of notice how my player kind of double bounces. And I wrote a bug report on this, and hopefully this gets fixed, as it's pretty annoying and also kind of affects the way you're clicking. You can find that bug report down in the description. I'm glad that they made some more tweaks to the villagers. I think they should also take in some of the other suggestions that we made to get more of a dynamic feel for the villager trades. It's also nice to see that they went ahead and increased the spawning for the iron golems. And they have said that they are looking for feedback on how to improve it further. So if you have any suggestions, go ahead and tell it down in the comments. And it's nice that they finally have fixed the bug to do with the glass and suffocating of mobs. And we also came across some pretty cool discoveries, such as like the luck arrows, which is going to be really cool to have finally in survival. And it will also be kind of an end game goal for a lot of the more long-term survival players. If you did find this video interesting, go ahead and give it a like and share it with someone else. And be sure, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell button to get notifications. And if you guys have any ideas on other things I should test out with the snapshots, tell me down in the comments. And I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!